Hey, movie peeps, thank you for watching NibbleNFlix, the podcast for Snacks Me Cinema. I'm your host, Jeff Reed, and in this video, we're going to be munching on the new heist film that's coming out on Amazon MGM called Crime 101. This will be a non-spoiler review. Have you seen the movie yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and also give us a like on this video to get more eyes on the video, and also subscribe to the channel so you get notified when new content is uploaded. And I've been waiting for this movie ever since I seen the presentation at CinemaCon. Now, does this movie meet my expectations? Let's talk about it. Crime 101 is based on a short story novella, and it's about a Jew thief named Mike Davis, played by Chris Hemsworth, who heists along the 101 freeway and have the police baffled. When he sets his sights on an ultimate score, his plan intersects with those of an insurance broker named Sharon Colvin, played by Halle Berry. But a detective named Lubesnick, played by Ruffalo, believes he has cracked Mike's pattern and is determined to bring him down before his next job. The movie is directed by Bart, Layton, who directed films such as American Animals and An Imposter. And the movie starts off where we meet our main characters in the film. We see Mike Davis is getting ready to do his heist on the freeway 101 in LA. Sharon is basically getting ready to meet a high-end client. And Lou is getting ready to go to the office, but he's dealing with some marital problems. But everything that we see in the beginning of the movie is setting up to where this heist is going to connect them all. The good about this movie is that the movie soars while it's trying to build out the story, trying to build the heist and develop these characters. And it does in a way where these characters think they're in a situation where they don't think they have control of, and they have to figure out exactly how to get out of it. And I like that because it shows them going through certain things and how they go through their daily lives, how they do their regular routine, and also show them, they're in a situation where they didn't think that they would be in the beginning of the film. And I like how they do the slow burn in this movie. And it's one of those films where it has like that noir kind of feel to it, where you're trying to piece together the puzzle of what's going on between each character while you're interconnecting this whole entire puzzle that's going to connect them all. And I think that was the fascinating thing about this film, is how they actually did a great job developing a story, developing how they're going to do this heist, and finally how they develop these characters to kind of piece it all into one. The movie takes some elements and some aspects from Heat and Drive. I thought the director Layton was trying to do his own Heat movie, but he spends it his own way, and he builds the certain scenarios when it comes to this movie where I thought he did a good job. The dramatic moments, it feels very good when it comes to breaking down to the characters and understanding why they're doing what they're doing. The intense scenes when it comes to leading up to a robbery, during a robbery, after a robbery, the car chases. I thought those scenes were executed very well. And it also made the city of Los Angeles its own character. Like, you see how people live in, why they do certain things. Just have a real LA-esque vibe, kind of like they did in Heat, to let you know that, this is another character in the film. And it actually feels like the city of Los Angeles is a character. And I thought that they did a good job executing that and making it feel like that's why it was so important that these heists were happening on the freeway on 101, because that's the whole point of the movie, to make it seem like this is a LA heist film. With the intensity and the stakes in this movie, I felt they felt very high, because not only did they develop these characters, but the performances from the actors in this film did a great job. Chris Hemsworth playing Mike in this film, who's a thief. He's basically trying to get his last heist. He's trying to get the big score so he can finally retire. He's been doing this for a while. He's trying to make as money as he can, but he just wants to live a normal life. And he plays this isolated character who is just very awkward and weird sometimes, but also a dramatic role too for Chris Hemsworth, which is kind of something that we usually don't get from Chris Hemsworth. I thought he did a great job, but he played him to the point where you understand where this character is at. You don't get a lot of him understanding of a background with him, but you get enough to understand who he is as a person. And I thought that was illustrated very well by Chris Hemsworth. Like I said before, this is a dramatic role. It's something totally different that we usually see him in, and I thought he did a great job. And hopefully one day, he can get more roles like this, because I, think he can play a dramatic character when it comes to something like this. After you see this movie, I thought he did an amazing job. And yeah, I thought what he did trying to portray Mike was absolutely fantastic and made the movie very well, because he carries the film himself, being this character, showing what he's going through, why he's trying to get out, and going through the obstacles that he's going through trying to finish this last heist. As for supporting role, I thought Halle Berry was actually fantastic in this movie, playing Sharon, who was an insurance broker who was working at this insurance firm for a long time. She helped this company become very successful. For some reason, she just cannot get promoted for whatever reason it is. And it could be, her being a woman and they just don't want to give her props to become a partner. But she has to make a decision in this movie to where she's going to either stay loyal to her company or is she going to join along Mike on this heist to actually get what she thinks she deserves? And I love the chemistry that she had with Chris Hemsworth. That was very good. And I thought that those scenes were very compelling as well. And actually build her character as well. And you see her character going through and kind of make it to where you understand why she's in this difficult situation to make this decision, what she's going to do. Mark Ruffalo, who's played the Detective Lou, is just obsessed of trying to catch the one-on-one thief that he calls Mike. And he's just trying to do everything by the book. And unfortunately, he has rocky relationships with his office at work, with his partner, and also with his marriage as well. And I thought he was able to portray this character. And something that they did in this movie, I really wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, because how serious the movie really was. But he had some humor elements. So he does some good one-liners, some witty comedy in this film, especially with his partner. I thought what they were doing was very, very cool. And I actually liked that and laughed a few times out loud. But when it comes to the character alone, you see how good he is at breaking down the case, trying to break down the case behind everyone's back. But you see all the steps that he does while trying to piece everything together to try to catch Mike before he hits his last heist. And I thought that was like the real good part of his character, to where you see him piecing things together, trying to figure out using clues and trying to be that detective. That's what the noir I was talking about earlier. It comes from Mark Ruffalo's character, and I thought that element of the movie was really good. Secondary characters also was good as well. You got Monica Barbaro, who plays a love interest with Chris Hemsworth. You got Nick Nolte in this movie, he's basically the guy that sets up the heists for Chris Hemsworth's character. And also you get Barry Keoghan in this film. And then I gotta say, he knocks it out of the park in this film. He played this little jerk named Ormon, who is another thief in this film, and he's just absolutely unpredictable. You just don't know what he's going to do. All his scenes are very tense, and you just don't know what's going to happen. You fear for the people that he's robbing, and also you fear for him as well. So I could totally see why he's been cast as the Joker in Matt Reeves' Batman, because you can see in these scenes why he can bring that intensity and that crazy chaoticness into the scenes. And finally, the cinematography in this film, I actually love how they shot this film. It's a very beautiful movie. I love how they did the opening scene where it's basically you use a drone and it starts from upside down and it tilts upright. And I thought that was really cool how they started that film. But the shots are beautiful, and especially the shots of LA and the certain scenery they were doing. I thought they did a good job capturing what LA actually is. Also, when it comes to the action pieces, I thought they did a good job. Not a lot of them scenes here that has action pieces, more dramatic thriller than action movie. But when they did those pieces, I thought they did a good job when it comes to the action scenes in this movie. And finally, the score of the film was really good too. I like what they did with the music and how they use the music for certain situations to build up the drama or the intensity or the thriller of that scene. So overall, when it comes to the aesthetics of the art of the movie and the production wise, I thought it was very good. So the bad about this movie, and what I can see some people have some issues with, is the movie doesn't have a lot of action in it, especially if you're expecting it to get a lot of action in this film. I know the trailers can be somewhat deceiving sometimes these days, but there's not really a lot of action in this film. It's probably about 3 or 4 action pieces in this movie. It's more of a slow burn film, and it basically focuses on this playing the cat and mouse game, developing the heist, showing what they're doing to set that up, going into the characters, understand who the characters are, and watch them going through there's certain things when the stuff that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis and what they're trying to get out of this heist. So like I said, a lot of people come in the movie expecting to get a lot of action and sitting there for a while like, oh my gosh, when we're going to start seeing some, heists and crazy shootouts and stuff like that and car chases. No, it doesn't have that. So if you're coming in and watching it or expecting it to get that, you're not going to get that here. But I can see some viewers coming in not knowing that, just being a little disappointed once they find out there's more of a drama type film rather than an action piece film. And finally, the runtime of this movie, even though this is a tight film, it does feel a little bit long in the tooth. I kind of think they could have cut at least maybe 10 to 15 more minutes of this movie. I don't know where they could have done it, but maybe towards the end, maybe towards a little bit of the middle. But some of the stuff that they were doing in this film, I really don't want to cut out, but it does feel a little bit long in the tooth, and possibly they can trim down some of those scenes where there's a little character development or certain things that's going on. They can trim off a little bit, little by piece throughout the film. But yeah, it could feel a little bit longer than two, especially if you're someone that was expecting to get action. It could be very long because it should be like a 90-minute film, but it's actually a film that's over 2 hours. I think it could be used here just to make the film feel even more tighter and feel slicker. And then, it can just run through without any issues. The score and the snack worthiness on this film, I have to give it 4 snacks out of 5. And that's because overall, I really enjoy this film. It just has that old school 90s, like thriller, heist, drama movies. And we just haven't one of these in a while. And just great to see that we got somebody that in Bart Layton, it was a fan of these old school crime movies, just bring this back into the fold, and I absolutely enjoyed it. The acting was great when it comes to the characters. They did a great job building the story and also going through the heist with the cat and mouse game. And yeah, even though there's not a lot of action, when you do get it, I think it's very earned. It does feel a little bit long in the tooth at times, but that's really because it should be a shorter film, but the movie is still tight. It just feels a little bit long at certain moments. So what I mean by that, some scenes just feel kind of long. However, I thought it would be a good movie, and I highly recommend seeing this in the movie theaters, especially with some tasty treats as well. And let me know in the comment section below if you've seen the movie, your thoughts of the film. And stay tuned for some more movie reviews that we're going to be doing, maybe some movie news as well. And I thank you for watching this video. Make sure you give us a like so we get more eyes on the video, and also subscribe to the channel so you get updated when we upload more content on the channel. And until next time, keep munching, keep watching good or bad movies, but always keep it real. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.